momentum, impulse, collisions, and the law of conservation of momentum. What do you say when a sports team is on a roll? They may not have the lead, but they may have momentum. A team that has momentum is hard to stop. An object with a lot of momentum is also hard to stop. Since momentum is the product of mass, in kilogram, and velocity, in meters per second, an object's momentum changes whenever its mass, or velocity changes. The unit of momentum is kilogram-meter per second. This is referred to as the linear momentum to distinguish it from angular momentum, a quantity associated with a rotating object. Momentum is a vector quantity. The momentum vector points in the same direction as the velocity vector. Here are some objects with lots of momentum. A cruise ship, which has a very large mass, and a bullet, which has a very large velocity. Let's have some practice problems in momentum. A 1,200 kilogram car drives west, at 25 meters per second, for 3 hours. What is the car's momentum? Let's identify the given variables. 1,200 kilogram, the mass. 25 meters per second west, the velocity. 3 hours, the time. Let's solve. Momentum P is mass m times velocity v. This is equal to 1,200 by 25. Thus, momentum P is equal to 30,000 kilogram-meter per second, west. Let's have another one. A 2,250 kilogram pickup truck has a velocity of 21 meters per second, to the east. What is the momentum of the truck? In this case, the given variables are: mass is 2,250 kilogram, and velocity of 21 meters per second east. Now let's solve. Momentum P is equal to 2,250 kilogram mass, times velocity of 21 meters per second. Thus momentum P is equal to 47,250 kilogram-meter per second, to the east. Think about this. How can the effect of catching a slow heavy object, like a bowling ball, be the same as catching a fast lightweight object, like a baseball? The answer: they have the same momentum. How do you stop an object with a huge momentum? Or how do you change its momentum? Changing momentum takes force and time. It takes a huge amount of force when hitting a baseball, as well as when kicking a soccer ball. To stop an object, we have to apply a force, over a period of time. This is called impulse. The product of the force, and the time it is applied. The momentum impulse theorem shows that increasing the time over which a given impulse acts decreases the average force. This means, the smaller the time interval, the greater the force. While, the larger the time interval, the smaller the force. Why is it okay to jump off of a diving board into water, but not onto the ground? When you dive into the water, the time interval of the impact is increased. Thus force is reduced. If we somehow got into an accident, would it be better to land on grass, or land on concrete? In the concrete, there is a small time interval of impact, so large force. In the grass, you have long time interval of impact, thus, small force. The momentum impulse theorem also comes into play in the design of a bicycle helmet. The materials inside a bike safety helmet increase the time of impact, thereby reducing the force and the extent of injury to your head. In terms of impulse and momentum, how do airbags help avoid injury in a car crash? They increase the time of impact, reduce the force, and the extent of injury to the driver or passengers. We can observe here that when a force acts on an object, it changes the object's momentum. This means there must be a connection between impulse and momentum change. This connection is revealed through the general form of Newton's second law. Rearranging this equation, we get the relationship between the impulse and momentum change. The impulse, force times time interval, is equal to the momentum, mass times velocity change. Why does an egg break or not break? An egg dropped on a tile floor breaks, but an egg dropped on a pillow does not. Why? In both cases, mass and velocity change are the same. If time interval goes up, what happens to force? Force goes down. When dropped on a pillow, the egg starts to slow down as soon as it touches it. A pillow increases the time the egg takes to stop. Again, the change in momentum of an object is equal to impulse applied to it. Thus, the force times time interval is equal to the difference between mass times velocity final and mass times velocity initial. The following example clearly illustrates why the vector nature of momentum must be taken into account when determining the change in momentum of an object. The figure below shows two objects, a beanbag bear and a rubber ball, each with the same mass and same downward speed just before hitting the floor. What is the change in momentum of each of the objects? If the beanbag has a mass of 1 kilogram and is moving downward with a speed of 4 meters per second just before coming to rest on the floor, then its change in momentum is 4 kilogram meter per second. A 1 kilogram rubber ball, with a speed of 4 meters per second just before hitting the floor, will bounce upward with the same speed. Therefore, the ball's change in momentum is 8 kilogram meter per second. Now notice that the rubber ball that bounced upward had the greater change in momentum. This means that when both of them hit the floor at the same time, the ball that bounced also had the greater force. Numerous examples of momentum impulse theorem may be seen in everyday life. A person standing under an umbrella experiences rain, which later turns to hail. Is the force required to hold the umbrella upright in the hail, greater than, less than, or equal to the force required to hold it in the rain? Rain tends to splatter and fall off the umbrella, while the hail tends to bounce back upward. Since the hail bounces while the rain does not, the change in momentum, and also the force, is greater for the hail. A 57-gram tennis ball falls on a tile floor. The ball changes velocity from negative 1.2 meters per second to positive 1.2 meters per second in 0.02 seconds. What is the average force on the ball? Take note first of the given data. Now let's compute. Force is equal to 0.057 kilogram mass, times 2.4 meters per second velocity, divided by 0.02 seconds time interval. Thus, force is equal to 6.8 kilogram meter per second squared, or simply force, is 6.8 newtons. Let's solve another problem. A 1,400 kilogram car moving westward, with a velocity of 15 meters per second, collides with a utility pole, and is brought to rest in 0.30 seconds. Find the force exerted on the car during the collision. Here is the formula for the force, and the given data. Now, force is equal to 1,400 kilogram mass, times 0 meters per second, minus 1,400 kilogram mass, times negative 15 meters per second, then divided by 0.30 seconds. Thus, force exerted by the car is 70,000 newtons westward. But the force done on the car is opposite in direction, which is 70,000 newtons to the east. In a crash test, a car of mass 1,500 kilograms collides with a wall on the left and rebounds back. The initial and final velocities of the car are minus 15 meters per second and 2.6 meters per second, respectively. If the collision lasts for 0.15 seconds, find the impulse delivered to the car due to the collision, and the average force exerted on the car. Let's solve. Using the formula of mass times the velocity for momentum. The initial momentum is equal to minus 22,500 kilogram meter per second, while the final momentum is 3,900 kilogram meter per second. The impulse I is solved by getting the difference between the final momentum and initial momentum. So the impulse delivered to the car due to the collision is 26,400 kilogram meter per second. The force F is computed by dividing the 26,400 kilogram meter per second impulse by the 0.15 seconds time interval. Thus, average force exerted on the car is 176,000 newtons towards the right. The law of conservation of momentum. If no external force acts on a closed system, the total momentum remains unchanged, even if objects interact. Now, what is a system? Two or more objects that interact in motion is a system. One may transfer part, or all, of its momentum to the others. Some common examples are collisions and explosions. Momentum conservation may cause objects to recoil. Recoil is the backward motion caused by two objects pushing off one another. Recoil occurs when a gun, or cannon is fired, or when a firefighter directs a stream of water from a fire hose. In all cases, recoil is a result of momentum conservation. The Newton's cradle is a device that demonstrates the conservation of momentum with swinging balls. When one ball at the end is lifted and released, it strikes the stationary balls, transmitting momentum to the other balls, that pushes the last ball upward, and then back again. Momentum conservation may also be applied to find the speed of the two colliding railroad cars in the figure, after they stick together. For conservation of momentum, the total momentum is the same before and after collision. To solve, we'll use the second formula, since the cars stick together after collision. Substitute, and then compute. Thus, the final velocity of the combined railroad cars is 10 meters per second.